Elizabeth Ademucho, and I'm here as a consultant to Fresh Angle, and we're here to interview Dr. Samson Onyemaeki on the CBT WAEC test.
As I said earlier, I'm going to speak not on behalf of the ministry. I'm only going to speak on a personal capacity. One, based on experience, qualifications, and I know as with what I have, I think I have a stand to say. When we look at education and it's not going either well or wrong, I have something to say to make it better. WAEC is a body that we must reckon with. It's not only in Nigeria, it's a West African examination body, and we must give them kudos because there are a lot of innovations that has come in this time around, and I'm sure if they stand by it, it's going to go a long way to co-exam malpractice.
When you say innovations,
if you look at the objective now, they are keying into the jam pattern. You see, individuals or candidates they are separated. Questions are not logical. It's segmented. You can't be, you'll be writing number one. Yes, personalized and personalized into the answer sheet. So before you be able to know two persons answering the same, it's going to take you some time. And that is what is happening in JAMB. And I'm sure if they continue with that trend, it's going to go a long way to help reduce exam malpractice. Human, you cannot be 100% right, or there are some challenges that may come along the line, which most of us experienced. And luckily, it is not only Delta State. It's I may say it's nationwide, because some feedback we got from other states, it was also a problem. Problem may arise from logistic, human factors, and other factors. I think that is where we say WAEC we need to improve too, to avoid such ugly experience that we experience, especially in English language. I happened to be in the field, and I was there till about 9 o'clock to ensure that the question paper gets to some of my centers in the Warri South. Until then, I didn't leave the centers. But the good thing is that the exam was done, only that it came late. And feedback, it was logistic, they say, logistic problem. And I'm sure WAEC must have taken note of that, so that they will be able to remedy it in the next exams. And I also give kudos to parents. It didn't generate to rioting, it didn't generate to, everybody took it calm. But that does not mean they didn't voice out their grievances. The only thing is that when such issue occurs, you as a body, you go back home, sit down, and find how, do some review and technical approaches, and so that you avoid it in the subsequent exams. And I'm sure it may not repeat, knowing fully well that it will not all go well for the names and for the system. So, but notwithstanding, exam, they've gone so far, it's almost ending now. The major courses are almost ending, and we have gone around the local government. And this time around, I will tell you, it was calm. The centers we visited were calm. We gave them our advice, and also preach on the consequences if caught in the exam malpractice. And most of them buy it, and that is a much we could. And some also monitors, and monitors were also sent from Asaba. They did their job, and from the report I have gotten, I don't think Warri has done badly.
Okay, sir. Before you run off, let me just put.
Well, I also visited a particular center that is also has key in. One of the centers has key in Warri South. specifically Egomite. You see, if they are able to key into that system, it's going to all go well, because you know the system we are now, technological and computerized system. And when you are there, you discover that you have little to interact with your neighbor. It will go a long way. But I'm seeing, you see, it's easier said than done. JAMB, look at the number of people in JAMB and look at the number of people in WAEC. Do you understand? And for you to achieve that, it's not something you just jump into. You must sit down. Creating a center, we must take a lot of things into consideration. We are going to talk of the number of computers you are going to buy. We are going to talk of number of centers we are going to create to accommodate them in data state alone. If they are not writing, if the number is not much, they should not be less than 10,000. You see, you are going to create big centers for them, and you must create power, system, and so on to accommodate them. So I'm sure even if they want to key into that, either they do it in phases. They can do it in phases, so that they use it as a pilot system for them to know and be able to accommodate the numbers. And like, where if we are talking of JAM, we are talking JAM now. If they are JAM are much, they will not be up to not up to 2 million. Less than 2 million. We are talking of a system, a state alone writing exam. You have like up to 10,000. 10,000 writing. In fact, like you are talking of more than 10 million writing that exam. A lot of logistics, both manpower, both system, especially the electronic aspect of it, and the center that will accommodate them. Do you understand? Those things must be taken into consideration. If it's going to work well, they need to sit down, budget well, do it in phases, and create enabling environment. Even if you go to the JAM self, most of them they are using. Look at what happened, breakdown, pressures, and so on. So it's a good system, but it's something that will take time to survive. And